where you go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. It is good to be here with you. Good to be with those of you online if you're watching. Thanks for joining us. My name is Katie. I'm the worship arts director here. A logistical thing, if it helps you stay connected with us, stay involved with us, we would love for you to have the lyrics available to you and any other information you might need throughout the service. There's two ways you can get that. If you like old school, holding something in your hands, paper kind of a way, back there at that sign by the coffee station, there are printed lyrics and worship folders. If you would prefer to connect digitally, of course, you can hop on your phone's browser and go to thegrove.today. Just make sure you're not connected to our internet, and that will work just fine for you. And so we will start by singing together in a moment, but first I would like to start with a prayer as something to sort of unify us and help us settle in. As I do that, would you guys actually mind going ahead and rise or stand as you're able? And let's pray. God, thank you for this time and this space and these people, and always for the opportunity to meet every week and connect with you and connect with one another. We bring so much with us to this space today. We're carrying heavy things on our hearts. We have worries, we have fears, we have wounds we're healing from, we have longings. And we bring all of that to you. We join in with the presence of our ancestors who've gone before us. We join along with the chorus of laughing, playing children and trees brushing in the breeze and birds singing, traffic going by as people are out doing other things this morning. We're such a small part of this world. But we hold these moments dearly that we spend together on Sunday mornings. Help us connect. And we hope to find the gifts that you offer us of joy and peace and inspiration and learning and personal growth and healing. We hope to find those things with you today. God, the Spirit that you offer yourself to us in ways that can't really be explained but can be felt, help us connect with that Spirit this morning so that we might sink a little more deeply in our experience with you and with one another. Thank you for your presence. We love you. So if you would, join us in singing "The Spirit is Moving." Is moving over the waters, turning our chaos into creation. The Spirit is moving, sisters and brothers, taking away our hearts of stone. The Spirit is moving, parting the waters, leading us out of the kingdom of sorrow. The Spirit is moving on our sons and daughters, turning our darkness into dawn. We will walk together through the seas. We will walk together through the tide. We will find a way to peace. The Spirit is our guide. The Spirit is moving, trouble the waters, leading us into the merciful kingdom. The Spirit is moving, breath of Creator, one with the Savior, making us one. We will walk together through the side. We will find a way that leads to peace. The Spirit is our guide. All right, so this is where you guys get to be the chorus. Just sing "The Spirit is moving" over and over again.
Spirit is moving.
The Spirit is moving. Yeah, keep that up.
Spirit is moving. Spirit is moving.
To lead us out of sorrow.
Spirit is moving.
To lead us through the night.
Spirit is moving.
To lead us into mercy.
Spirit is moving.
To lead us through the light. The Spirit is to lead us out of sorrow.
Spirit is moving.
is moving. The Spirit is moving. The Spirit is moving. The Spirit is moving. Nice. Thank you for singing with us. I wish I could hear you all. You're so far away. But I appreciate you singing anyways. Hopefully y'all can hear each other. Can you hear each other back there? That's what matters. That's what matters. All right, next we're going to sing Crowded Table. You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be your mountain when you're feeling valley low. I can be your street light, showing you the way home. If you can hold my hand when you need to let go. And I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able. Bring us back together when the day is done. Well, if we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seeds. Plant a little happiness, let the roots run deep. If it's love that we give, then it's love that we reap. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seeds. And I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. The door is always open, your picture's on my wall. Everyone's a little broken, and everyone belongs. Everyone belongs. And I want a house
With a crowded
table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take
on the
world while we're young and able. Bring us back together when the day is done. And bring us back together when the day is done. Nice. Y'all sound good this morning. Thank you again, and you can be seated.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Kids in the back, good morning. Nailed it. Nailed it. You're welcome. Oh, it is so good to be with you on this beautiful Sunday morning. My name is Jeremy. I am the pastor here at the Grove, Cottage Grove, and we exist to grow goodness. And so my hope is that you're being here with us today, you're watching with us online, you're somehow interacting with us during the week, is cultivating the common good in and through you. As we're getting going this morning, I just want to direct your attention to a couple things. Katie mentioned earlier about the lyrics webpage. That not only has the lyrics on it, but it has a bunch of other information that you may have also gotten in this, if you got the handout. On the inside of this has all the most important information that you're going to want to know about the Grove, why we exist, what our values are, how to give to make sure that this thing that we're doing gets to continue in us, but also beyond us. There's also all of those options, including giving options on that web page if you're interested. If you have the physical handout, on the inside there's a slip of paper that you can fill out to let us know that you're here with us today, or to request any information that you might be interested in, or you can submit prayer requests there too. If you want to fill out the physical thing, you can drop it in one of those baskets on that sign back there anytime during or after the service. Otherwise, again, you can also do all of those things on the web page too, just by clicking any of the buttons. Then on the back of the worship handout, there are 3 announcements that we've been keying in on this month. Those same 3, believe it or not, are also on that web page. I won't bore you with the details now. We'll hit those at the end of the service. But if you're curious about any of them now, you can either scan the QR code on here, or if you're on the web page, just click on those images and they will bring you to the information that you need. A couple other logistical things. Throughout the summer, we do not have programming for our kids, so they are welcome to play and enjoy the grounds. We simply ask that if you have a child with us, you kind of keep an eye on them for their safety. And it's just kind of, we don't have a fence or anything. We don't have an electric fence that keeps them within certain bounds. But if you can kind of keep an eye on them and as best as possible, try to make sure they stay on this side of the tree line, this side of the building, out of the road, and then generally in front of the stage-ish. Again, just for their own safety. We do have a nursery that's inside that is unstaffed, but we have the live stream going in there. If at any point you need to move inside the building, you won't miss out on what is going on out here. We have bathrooms just inside and to the right. What else? The door to get into the building, just so you know, we have that closed. Carefully open it, whether you're going in or going out, because there might be someone else on the other side of that door. We don't want anybody getting knocked out by the door. Also, if you could make sure it remains closed, simply because I saw some nice rodents running around outside here, and I would prefer not to have to deal with rodents in the middle of the week. I think that's it for logistics. So we now get to move into the part of the service which we call Connection Point. It is your opportunity to connect with people around you and to build some meaningful relationships around forced interaction. You're welcome. But just to make it a little bit easier, we do provide you with a discussion question every week. So in just a moment, I'll have you stand up, find someone near you don't know or don't know very well. And then if you have nothing else that you know to talk about, the question for today is, we've had a ton of rain, right? It almost feels like it's been April. Now that it seems to be done raining, knock on wood, what's something that when it's done raining, you're excited to do? So maybe this week, now that it's done raining, what is something that you're excited to do now that it's a little bit dry? If you have something else to talk about, feel free to talk about that thing, but you could at very least talk about that. So why don't we do that? Why don't you stand up as you're able, find someone near you don't know or don't know very well, introduce yourself, and discuss that question.
Okay, well, as you're finishing up your conversations, you can find your way back, and the kids who are singing today can come up front. If you are a kid and you are singing a song with us today, please come. Awesome. All right, yeah, y'all go ahead and get in place. I'll come down in a minute. Hi.
You can go right here.
Well, we have a song to share with you today that is one that my daughter Lucy had learned at the Woodbury Preschool, our other church. If you don't know, our other church location has a wonderful preschool inside of it, and many of our kids in this congregation have gone there for preschool or camps. Hey! The mic is on. Thank you, Stormy. And they learned this song this year, and she said, Mom, we need to sing this song at church. And I said, you're right, we do. And this is the perfect month to do it. During our Justice Month, the song is called One Small Voice, and it's about how when you raise your voice for a good purpose, other people will start raising their voice with you, and you can make a change. So it's such a great song for us to be singing during our Justice June. So I'm going to come down there, and I'm going to help direct the kids, but can you guys give a little applause to thank our kids for singing for us today?
What? With just one small voice, singing out a song. With just one small voice, singing sweet and strong. One by one they'll grow, and together sing along. And then soon all the world will be singing. With just one small voice, singing out a song. With just one small voice, singing sweet and strong. One by one they'll grow, and together sing along. And then soon all the world will be singing. With just one small voice, singing out a song. With just one small voice, singing sweet and strong. One by one they'll grow, and together sing along. And then soon all the world will be singing. With just soon all the world will be singing.
Great job, kids. I was monitoring it on Facebook, one, to make sure we could hear you, but also to make sure we didn't get booted for that copyrighted music. And we did not, and you sounded fantastic. Well done. All right, so as Katie mentioned, we are 4 weeks in now. Good grief, July is soon. We're 4 weeks into what we've been calling Justice June. So this month we have been focusing here on justice-related issues that we consider really important for us at the Grove, and particularly as people of faith. And so each week we have taken on a different topic, and the goal is not to overwhelm you by the bigness of these things, even though many of these justice issues are quite big and at times overwhelming. The point is not to overwhelm you, but instead to take a step back and try to get us to the place where individuals and collectively we can feel empowered and encouraged, as if we as individuals and collectively can make a difference and start moving us more towards the people and the world that God would dream for us. So we have 5 Sundays in June. And so as we were planning this series, 4 of those weeks were really obvious what we were going to talk about. So the first week we said, you know what, we should probably talk about justice in general and define what we mean by justice and what it means to act justly. So that was the first week. And then the other 3 weeks we have spent, or next week are spending our time talking about things that we have actually teams here at the Grove focused on these pieces of justice. So creation care and environmental justice, that was the first week. Last week was racial justice. And then next week we have Pride Sunday, which is LGBTQ justice. But then that left one other week, one other justice-related topic, which was not super obvious to us. And so we had to do a little bit of thinking about what is something that isn't so obvious but is really important, not only for the community of which we are a part, but for our church specifically. And the thing that came to mind for me that we ended up going with was food insecurity. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I don't know how familiar you are with food insecurity or even the concept of food insecurity. Even that term might be somewhat new to you. In the past, we're chasing bunnies here. Even in the past, you may have heard a blanket term of hunger, right? Hunger is part of food insecurity, but food insecurity is actually a bigger topic that includes hunger. So I wanted to start with a definition. This comes from Second Harvest Heartland. The way that Second Harvest Heartland defines food insecurity is so short: lack of access at times to enough food for an active, healthy life. So it includes hunger, but it's different from hunger. Hunger is like that felt feeling, that moment of need when you don't have enough food. Food insecurity, though, is that ongoing concern of how the hunger need is going to be met. Does that difference track with you? And so I wanted to start, as I've done each of these weeks, with kind of laying out the problem, and then also saying we start with why should we care about this issue, and then we end with how we might care about this issue. So starting with why we care about this issue, hunger insecurity, or food insecurity, is one of these issues that we don't necessarily talk about a whole lot. It doesn't rise to the level of those 3 other things that we are talking about this month. But food insecurity is something that is pervasive, it's connected to other justice-related issues, and it's also a shame-inducing type of thing, particularly for the community that we're in. So first, as it's pervasive, when you think about food insecurity or hunger, you might often think about like global south type of countries. 50% of them are in suburbs like ours, and only 34% of them are in big cities. So if you think like it's an other country problem or an urban problem, it's actually more of an issue in communities like ours. So there's the pervasiveness, whether we're aware of it or not. And then there's the connection to other justice issues. So there's the connection to public health. Obviously, if you're not getting enough food, you're probably not very healthy. But if you're not very healthy, it also impacts your connection to food. And that was especially the fact during the pandemic and in the wake of the pandemic. During the pandemic, 47% of the people who were experiencing food insecurity were experiencing it for the first time because of the impacts of the pandemic. So if you're having, if there's public health issues, it's leading to food insecurity, and then it can lead to public health issues as well, like that type of doom loop, right? There's also the connection to poverty. So if you don't have a whole lot of money, it's more difficult to buy food. How many of you have heard about inflation, folks, and how expensive groceries are? Well, there's lots of people for whom that is increasingly a problem. If you don't have enough money, you can't buy as much food or the right type of food. But then if you're spending more money on food, it's impacting things, your budget and everything on the other end. Again, it's kind of like a doom loop. And then there's also a racial justice dynamic too. Here in Minnesota, if you look like me, there's one level of food insecurity. If you are from a Hispanic community in Minnesota, you're 3 times more likely to experience food insecurity. And if you are in a black community, you're 5 times more likely to experience food insecurity in Minnesota. So this justice issue is directly tied to leading to issues of food insecurity, and then food insecurity is leading to other justice impacts as well. So like it's a big deal. But then on top of all of that kind of contributes to the idea of shame around food insecurity. Now, we've particularly found that to be an issue here in